Hi Kim and Jeremy. Here's a quick overview of some stuff for this weekend service. The first part of the service will be on screens, and we'll have it open pre-service, and then Pastor will close the screen before the offering. So the whole first section is going to be on screens for a couple reasons. So you'll open Pro Presenter on the dock at the bottom of the desktop, and from here, if you look over on the side, there's a folder for sanctuary stuff. Little triangle kind of opens and closes it. And there are three services, 5, 8, and 9:15. And they all are different. So with the 5 p.m. service, for example, there'll actually be another section here before this of some pre-service looping slides. So you'll just click on that before church starts. But once it's time for the service, once you click on a slide or arrow it, you'll see over here, this is what's projected on the screen. And you can either just point and do that way as you kind of work through, or you can use the forward arrow key like so, or you can use the space bar. If you use arrow keys, when you get to the last slide of a presentation, like right now I'm on this blank slide at the end of the Apostles' Creed, when I hit the arrow key again, it kind of bumps the whole screen up and preps for the next presentation, but until I click twice, it doesn't actually move to the next one. So typically when one presentation is done, if you're using arrow keys or keyboard, click twice to get it moving along to the next thing. And so after the congregation does the Apostles' Creed, there's a reading from John, just as this title slide. And then a student will come forward, has their name, reflection on worship, and then once they're done, that stays up the whole time that they're talking, and when they're finished, Pastor will announce that we'll sing a hymn, and that's the next slide there. And so from there, you just kind of follow along the hymn, and I've got the verses labeled, so everything's in here in the exact order you need it. And then when that's done, you put the next slide up here, and that's the next witness statement. So all those witness statements are going to go back to back. At 5 o'clock, after Redemption Atonement, the women's choir is going to sing a song, so I just made a blank slide for that. There's a couple times where the congregation is going to read a scripture verse all together. So I've got like this Timothy verse over 2 slides. And just a reminder, like always move the slide before people say the last word, because your eyes see it before your brain says it. And then if you get to the next slide, it'll be easier to follow along, actually. So as the 5 o'clock service goes on, once it gets to the last witness statement on church, and we sing Church is One Foundation, ends on a blank slide, and then at that point, when Pastor Billy closes the screen, you can just hit the power on the projector. Use light setting number 3. I'll put that in an email too. It's mostly bright in the room, but a little bit darker over the screen so it's clear. And so on Sunday morning, Kim will just drop the 8 a.m. service and basically repeat the process, and it almost all works the same. The only difference in the presentations are what witness statements and who says them, and sometimes there's a different hymn. But each service has its own unique file, and that's how it works. The background, you see this little cross thing here, will appear when you click the first slide, and it will just stay on no matter what you go to. Even if you jump around, it'll keep that background. So that's the crash course in Pro Presenter. Jeremy will be on your on a Saturday. Julie will help you with sound, and then Kim, I'll stop by Sunday morning and just make sure everything's working right. If you want to come a little bit early, we can do a quick review over it. Okay, thanks so much, guys.